Oh, and as you've all come to expect, I missed the bin again there. I've been putting this bit off for quite a while because I've been waiting for a friend of mine to send me the dimensions for the preamp EQ system that he's designed and built for me. He did that today, and then I made a piece of wood into a template so that I've got a block that shows me how big it's going to be. So that's the size I need for my preamp and EQ circuit, which is a little bit small. So that's going to sit there. So around that I've drawn a cavity that I need to put into this. I like to keep it as tidy as possible and kind of follow the lines of a guitar, so this top edge runs parallel to the centre line of the bass. It's all just outside the other cavities, so the bridge pickup here is about 5mm away from the edge of the control cavity, which will give me a nice space to run the wiring through. But it won't get in the way and cause any issues of things interfering. I've also ordered a battery box to put in here, and I know the measurements of that, so I've designed this end of the control cavity around that, so this line of the cover, which will be probably around 5mm further up, will follow along, and with a slight break here, obviously because we've got the wooden or whatever I use for the control cover, it will then become the battery box, which will tie in with this curve here and be kind of, the lines will follow on and just about meet up, so that it'll be two separate things. We'll have the control cavity cover and the battery box, but because of everything that's measured out, it will line up and look like it was all designed to be one thing, which I like. I don't like it when you get, I don't like battery boxes full stop because they always look like an afterthought shoved in the back of a guitar or a bass, but I don't like control covers that just look like they've been thrown there and hope for the best. If you're designing a guitar, you need the controls in there, so you may as well find a way to design that in as well. However, I've done that now, and I've transferred it across to my master template, which, if I line that up with the centre lines, dooby-dooby-doo, it lines up almost perfectly. There we go, a little bit of wiggling. So I know that I've got space for my controls inside that cavity, I've got the space for the preamp and EQ circuit in here, and I've got a bit of space to run the wires, because there's going to be quite a few in there. I don't really want it to be crammed in super tight. That would make life a bit difficult. It's always better to have a bit more space than you need, rather than not enough. So really what I need to do now is transfer this onto the back of the body and spoil my lovely one-piece Swamp Ash chevron. Can't have everything. One thing I do need to do is make sure that all my cavities are connected. So I'm gonna drill a hole. 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 Turns out I haven't done any unnecessary inlay or drilled any random holes in this base yet. And I don't think it needs it anywhere, except possibly the cavity cover, because that's quite a good place to do something exciting. I've got this piece of nicely flamed roasted maple which ties in with the neck, but I think I want to do something a bit different with it. Obviously up the back of the neck we've got the stripes, so I think I want to kind of tie that in. So I think I'm going to inlay into the back of this some Padauk with the pinstripes either side. So first things first, let's get this nice and smooth. Well, I kind of sanded and cut this out and fitted it all and did everything that I needed to do, and now it looks cool. But my battery box also turned up in the post, so I need to get this out and have a look to see whether it fits. So the moment of truth is kind of nowish. It's a nice little battery box that lifts up and has a lock for the battery, so battery goes in, locks in place, and then tilts back into the body, which I quite like. It's a funky design that's going to keep everything neat and tidy. However, what I need to do is check whether it fits in here properly. So if I run a straight edge along here, that should, with the straight edge of this against that, it should leave me a nice even gap around here. So let's see, shall we? I'm going to say that's worked pretty well. So what I need to do now is measure the space that I need to route out for this battery box, which sits under this lip, and get that all neatly organised. And then I need to cut myself a hole. This battery box has got radiused corners which extend past the ends. It's kind of thought out quite well. which, I mean, it's stamped with Goto, so it's made by someone who knows what they're doing. So what I'm going to do is make a template for this, which goes on here, and I'll get that all nicely lined up, follow the line along, which I will use a pencil and I'll mark it on, and I'll get everything measured in place so that this sits in just the right spot, and then I'll route it in and I'll drill a hole through and we'll be about ready to start sanding, which everyone knows is my favourite job. And if you don't know that, I'm being sarcastic. Bloody hate sanding.